Hey, Jeff here from Vet Environmental, and I just thought I'd talk quickly about this Ozothamnus diosmifolius, or the tall rice flower dogwood. There's a few different names for it. Yeah, it's a really cool shrub, and there's one really nice one here where I'm working today in full bloom. So yeah, they're a shrub that occurs usually on crows are dropping pine cones. They're a shrub that occurs in woodland and rainforest margins and things like that locally in the area. And they've got this really nice habit. They can get a little bit leggy when they're in a lot of shade, but if you prune them up either in the garden, you can get them to be really quite dense, and they grow denser when they're in full sun. But yeah, they can handle full sun, part shade, pretty much any soil conditions. I've seen them growing in heavy clay, I've seen them growing in really sandy soil, and they've been working really well in both situations. So they're quite versatile, and they're a really interesting one. You see these flower clusters here, which is out of focus. So actually, when they open up, they're like really small paper daisies. So it's a big, not big, they're actually quite. Whoa! Like these clusters of little everlasting daisies. That bird was very close to me. But yeah, you got these clusters of everlasting daisies. They look really nice when they're fully covered in blooms, like this one here is. Some of the features for telling them apart, if you look here at the stem here, the leaves are kind of warty looking. They've got this really prominent mid-vein, and they're really small, and they come off sort of hard, almost like rosemary, I guess. Like they come off all around the stem. All the birds are just going wild at the moment. Yeah, they come off. They can be all around the stem, like when they're facing up, like this one. But if they're sort of these lateral branches, they tend to be more upper. But they're actually quite sticky to touch. They're not like super smooth. Another tell is if you crush some of the leaves and smell them, it's got a really really pungent smell. Some people really like it. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it. I'm saying I'm the biggest fan of it, but it's a very easy way to tell them apart. So you can see here, this is their sort of habit. They get this kind of, there's actually three growing here next to each other. But you see they got this very, they're like a woody shrub. You kind of see here their habit. So you can see how they can get kind of spindly when they're in the shade. This one's pretty compact because it's, despite not being pruned, because it's in this more sunny open situation. Like I said before, if they're in a really shady situation, they will get a bit leggy, but you can prune them up. One of the things for the garden is they actually make really nice cut flowers. These last ages, even without any water. You can just cut them off and leave them in a jar, and they'll last a really long time. So from an environmental perspective, we use them in revegetation projects where we're trying to recreate woodland or boost woodland diversity in the shrub layer. Like I said, they do occur in rainforest margins, so we'll quite often use them in those sorts of plantings if we've got them available. They can be a little bit tricky to come across in the nurseries, although there is a couple of cultivars that you see pop up from time to time. One is called red gingham because as a natural variation in the flower color, it's kind of like a pinky reddy color that happens. So sometimes you get tube stock and you'll plant out 100 of them, and 10 or 20 of them will have this sort of pinky tinge to their flowers, which is really quite nice as well. Yeah, they're pretty easy to grow from seed. They also take well from cutting. So if you've got one in the garden that you really like the form of and the flower color and everything, you can take a clone of it by doing a cutting. Otherwise, yeah, they grow quite readily from seed. Yeah, super awesome shrub. One that I recommend for both re-veg projects and in the garden. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. You can check out more of our Australian native plant profiles on the playlist that we have, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.